All right, we just saw live the outcomes of that pre-trial process in the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Let's go to Jade Lee Paulson now. She's outside the court. Jade Lee, how do we process these outcomes?
Well, a very good morning to you. I think that we've actually just reached a milestone now. This trial date has been dragging for several years now. And I think that Jacob Zuma, former president, will have his day in court. Now, I've been stationed outside of court, and I must make mention of the fact that there's not one supporter. And I suppose that's because they have been told that the trial date would have started on the 17th of May. And now we're having that confirmed inside of court, the judge saying that the trial has been set from the 17th of May to the 20th. Now, just to get more insight into this, I am joined by SABC reporter Simpiwe Makanya. Simpiwe, you've been inside court for the better part of the morning. We saw the trial commencing in absentia of former President Jacob Zuma. But what does this actually mean now that we're finally going to trial? He's finally going to have his day in court, and obviously with his supporters, we've seen heavy bigwigs also throwing and pledging their support to him. How is it going to unfold and affect the ruling party as well? If I may borrow from your words, Jade, you put it correctly when you say this is a milestone. This is a trial that has been, happening for more than 15 years now, to be precise. So today, the judge finally giving that date, which is the 17th of May, for the commencement of the trial. Earlier on, we did hear from the state prosecutor, Advocate Billy Downer, stating the reasons which have led to these many delays that we have seen in this case, one of them being, of course, the issue of COVID-19. Some documents could not be accessed because of travel restrictions. That's what the state prosecutor, Advocate Billy Downer, said. And also the issue of witnesses who were not able to actually come into the country because of the travel restrictions. But now the judge has now set the date of the 17th of May for the final commencement of this case, which is likely to drag for quite a number of months if it's going to be months, because judging by what Advocate Billy Downer said again, stating that there are over 200 witnesses which are expected to be called to testify as the trial commences, Jade. And you know, that's so interesting for you to say that 200 witnesses. I mean, that's a lot of witnesses to take to the stand. And if we've been, following this trial, last year they only sat for 3 seatings. And I mean, it's been a very lengthy one. We've seen also several documents and, affidavits being, ushered back and forth between the state and the defense. Also, that issue of the racketeering charge that was dropped from Thales, they challenged that as well. They were dismissed by the SCA. Simpiwe, you've also been following this case extensively. Do you foresee any other delays cropping up here and there? Because, I mean, surely they've set this for the 17th of May, but we're not really sure if we're actually going to commence. What the state prosecutor, Billy Downer, said before the judge earlier on today was the fact that all parties now have agreed that, we are ready to commence with this case. But of course, you'll still recall, Jade, that we are still under lockdown level 3. Sure. So we don't know what the situation is in terms of what will unfold going forward in terms of further restrictions, if there are any imposed. So that will probably be one of the reasons why we may see delays if it comes to that. But as far as they are concerned, the state as well as both parties, which is Thales and former President Jacob Zuma, they are ready to get the ball rolling. And then, Simpiwe, obviously we must speak about the former president's support. We've seen him receive support over a number of years. Heavyweights also in the ANC, Zandile Gumede, throwing her weight behind the president. But now with COVID-19, I doubt that's going to happen. We won't be able to see those people coming to court and actually physically supporting the former statesman. Jade, that is a very interesting question, because if you recall, during the Secretary General's court appearance in Bloemfontein, you saw quite a number of ANC supporters making their way to support the SG of the party, and we're expecting the same with the former president. I mean, lately we've seen leaders of the EFF even going to have tea with the former president. We don't know what the deliberations were, but what we can tell you is that definitely when this court case resumes, there will be supporters here to actually support the former president, because some of them have been, feeling that these charges are politically motivated, as it has been said by his by his lawyers. But now the time has come for the state to prove its case and for former President Jacob Zuma to prove his innocence.
That's very true. And I think it's history in the making now after 15 years. Thank you so much for your insight into what happened in court, Simpiwe Makanye. They're giving us the latest of what happened at the trial of former President Jacob Zuma as well, his co-accused Thales, breaking it down for us, and also what this means for the statesman. Going to trial on the 17th of May after 15 years of back and forth. Finally, we do have a date, and it is a milestone. I suppose one could say that the former statesman will have his date or his day in court. He has been reiterating over the number of years that he is innocent and he wants to prove his innocence. So I suppose we'll be following that for you very closely, and also monitoring the support that he garners over the next few weeks leading up to that date. It's back to you in studio.
Thank you very much for that update from two of our colleagues from the KZN Durban-based office. Thank you so much to both of you.